Welcome to Superhero Pow. I'm your host nerd, Tom Frumkin. Hey, how you feeling these days? Are you upset and anxious like I am? Because where the is the Justice League? It's been over 2 years now without a Justice League comic book. And in their typical wisdom, DC decided to make things look scary by killing the Justice League in the last issue of their 7th series. 7 series? They've had 7 main Justice League series since it was created in 1960? And 3 within the past 10 years? Well, we all know how well number 1 issues sell. I suppose I should be surprised there weren't more. But anyway, they killed the Justice League because that's the best way to show how tough a villain is. You have them do something that everybody knows is going to be undone in a blink of an eye. So, yeah. Are you scared now? Did it raise the stakes of the story? The Justice League is dead. And if you believe that, I got some swampland in Florida to sell you. But that's what they decided to do to set up the last big crossover event, Dark Crisis, which was about the title of a Legion of Superheroes story, The Great Darkness, which famously featured Darkseid, basically making Darkseid the big bad villain that he is today. Before that, he was pretty much just in the pages of the New God comics. But anyway, The Great Darkness is no longer just a title of a story. It's a big evil entity, and it killed the Justice League, or kind of. It's a really complex story, so I'm not even going to bother explaining it. But the point is, they killed the Justice League and canceled the title. Then, of course, they brought the Justice League back at the end of Dark Crisis, but they didn't get their title back. This was in the spring of 2002. Then they were teasing that the Justice League was going to come back in 2003 for the Dawn of DC marketing campaign. And the Dawn of DC came out, and the Justice League did not. So we've been waiting over 2 years now for a Justice League, JLA, Justice League of America book. And it really makes me wonder, what's the problem? Now I'm sure they're saying, we're going to wait until the book is right. Until we make sure this book is going to be good, we're not going to print it. If it's not good, we're not printing it. We sell no comic books until it's time. Sounds noble, but we all know that's not true. DC and all the other publishers will pump out trash without blinking an eye because they know it'll sell. And that's the most important thing. I'm not going to argue with them on that. Heck, Marvel is bragging that they're going to print a new X-Men title every month this year. So they really don't care that much about quality. And I assume it's just some sort of sales gimmick to get a increase in sales for a few months to prove to their Disney overlords that they're really smart people and they know what they're doing. So, don't fire them and don't put them out of business. But for the most part, I don't think Disney really cares. They probably make more money licensing Wish products to manufacturers than Marvel comic books make them. So there probably is a real fear that Disney is just going to shut them down or something. So the people in charge of Marvel, who probably get no direction from Disney, aside from, don't spend money and don't get the internet mad at us, just dance around creating little sales bumps because they just have no idea how to make their bosses happy. Which I'll admit is a hard spot to be in. If you don't know what your boss wants from you in your job, it's going to be pretty hard to do your job. And I assume DC is in the same spot. Warner Brothers, AT&T, and Discovery just spent a ton of money moving them all over to Los Angeles, and, things did not go well. So I'm sure DC, just like Marvel, has to prove their right to exist. And probably the only thing they can spend money on are sales gimmicks. Which kind of brings me back to my original rant. Kind of all over the place today. But the Justice League. You would think they would be in a hurry to get a Justice League comic book out. I mean, I know it's not Batman or anything, but hey, Batman's in it. This is supposed to be your flagship book. You know, it started the whole Marvel age. You know, Stan Lee created the Fantastic Four as a response to DC making the Justice League. But come on, DC, I have money to spend. Now, one can assume, and make a out of everybody, that the Justice League will return after their new big event, Absolute Power, which has Amanda Waller, the boss of the Suicide Squad, teaming up with Omega Levis supervillains to get rid of all the superheroes. Wait, what? Oh, my head hurts even just saying that. And Mark Waid is writing this? What? For some reason I expected better of you, Mark. But okay, Justice League. When are the Justice League coming back? When will the world's greatest superheroes finally be returned to their waiting fans? And Rorschach whispers, no. Comics is a weird business, isn't it? Seems fairly easy, right? You hire a writer and an artist, colorer, inker, letterer if need be. You have them make 20 pages of a story or so, and you print it and then sell it to specialty shops all over the country. If no one likes it, you cancel it and make another one. But there's all these weird games they seem to play. They just can't do the logical XYZ because, well, for reasons fans just wouldn't understand. Well, I'm just a man-child who wants his Justice League comic book anyway. Am I getting too negative? I try not to, but I don't know, this is where the rabbit hole led. You know how I was talking about the Dark Crisis miniseries that ended the Justice League? Well, it had 7 issues. Guess how many covers it had? Variant covers and that. In total, how many covers did it have? Take a guess. Go on. Take a guess. 7 issues. How many covers would that be? 60. 60. Can you believe it? That's more than 8 covers per issue. I suppose I'm a broken record, but maybe that's the problem. They don't sell comics, they sell covers. Then everything will start to make sense. Okay, I'm getting too negative again. Gotta detox. And you, thanks for spending time with me. And if you can be so kind to like, subscribe, and notify, you can hear me complain about this all again sometime. Take care of yourself out there.